Greetings, I'm Dr. Clark, and welcome to the From Me to You show. And we take a little time out to give you something for your daily living, and always information for information purposes only. Today, going to look at some coping strategies, just something to help you in your day-to-day living, something you can add to your toolbox that you can go to and have some resources, and hey, just kind of help yourself do some coping. I run into a lot of people, different things that ask me about here and there. So I thought I'd do this segment today on just some coping strategies, some things that you can do on your personal, everyday living. And in this journey of understanding and managing anxiety, the significance of a personalized emotional regulation plan cannot be overstated. And as we reach into the culmination of this time that we're going to spend on today, welcome to the For Me to You show. It becomes imperative to synthesize the knowledge and insights gained thus far to develop a strategy tailored to your unique emotional landscape. And everybody responds differently to different things, all right? And that's okay, that's fine. We're just going to take a little time in the process to look at some personal emotional regulation plan, to focus on some kind of look at those things that trigger you. I put it like that: some personal triggers and responses that you may have. All right, don't try to compare yourself to somebody else and how they respond to it. Just make this personal and look at your triggers and how you respond. All right, and then we'll add some coping strategies today and look at some realistic goals and those type of things, and to manage your anxiety. Sometimes we all get a little anxiety about different things because anxiety comes from the fear of the unknown. And then sometimes you're going to have a little stress. Stress is part of daily living. It's all about how you respond to it, how you cope with it, and having those coping strategies in place that you can go to personally and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do in this situation right here. Anxiety in itself, and I'm not going to get real in depth with it, but anxiety in itself is a complex emotional experience that manifests differently for each individual. I will put emphasis on that. Everybody's going to handle it and get to it differently. All right. And let's do it like this. In developing a personal emotional regulation plan, it is to gain a thorough understanding of your emotional triggers and responses. And that's why I want to put the emphasis today is making it personal, looking at yourself and say, okay, what are my emotional triggers and what are my emotional responses? All right. And once you identify that, then you can establish you some strategies. And I'm real big on self-awareness. And that's part of that self-awareness right there, recognizing your own emotional triggers and your own responses, and not to shift it on anybody else, but take accountability and responsibility for you. Those emotional triggers are specific events, situations, different stimuli that provoke an emotional reaction, often leading to feelings of anxiety. And recognizing these triggers is crucial for developing effective strategies to manage them. Begin by reflecting on recent experiences where you felt anxious. I put it like that. Begin by reflecting on recent experiences where you felt anxious. That's that self-awareness you're going to be able to tap into. Reflect. Consider what circumstances preceded the onset of anxiety. Was it a particular social situation, a work-related challenge, or perhaps an internal thought process? And by identifying patterns in these experiences, you can pinpoint specific triggers. Then equally important is understanding your emotional responses to these triggers. So say we have these triggers. All right, now having an understanding of your emotional responses to these triggers. How do you respond to it? Response can be both physiological and psychological. And what do I mean? From a physiological standpoint, you might notice changes such as increased heart rate, sweating, or either muscle tension. That's a physiological thing. Psychologically, you may experience feelings of dread, worry, or a sense of being overwhelmed. It's just like waking up going to work on a particular day, and you may have that dread thing going on. That's a psychological thing there, all right? And by mapping out these responses, you gain insight into how anxiety manifests in your body and mind, providing a foundation for targeted interventions. And then, like I said earlier, having some tools in your toolbox to to cope. All right, so let's look inside of the coping strategies. One, always self-awareness, being able to reflect on it. Once you have a clear understanding of your triggers and responses, the next step is develop a personalized toolbox of coping strategies. And coping strategies are techniques or practices that help manage stress and reduce anxiety. Those coping strategies, there's going to be some techniques that you can apply. There's going to be some practices that you can apply. There's some things that can help you manage stress and reduce anxiety. We want our toolbox to be well-rounded, and a well-rounded toolbox includes a variety of strategies that can be employed in different situations, ensuring flexibility and adaptability. Consider incorporating both immediate and long-term strategies. Immediate strategies are those that can be used in the moment to alleviate anxiety. Techniques such as deep breathing, grounding exercises, or progressive muscle relaxation can be effective in calming the nervous system during acute episodes of anxiety. All right, and just taking a little time out to grab hold of the situation. Okay, long-term strategies, on the other hand, focus on building resilience and reducing overall anxiety levels. And these might include regular physical exercise, mindfulness, meditation, or engaging in creative activities that provide a sense of fulfillment and relaxation. And additionally, some cognitive behavioral techniques such as reframing negative thoughts or practicing self-compassion can foster a more positive mindset over time. And experiment with different strategies to determine which ones resonate with you the most. Keep in mind that what works for one person may not work for another. There is no quick fix. There is no cookie cutter approach to this. You have to highlight the importance of personalizing your emotional regulation plan. And then in this personal emotional regulation plan, it involves setting realistic and achievable goals. Set some realistic and achievable goals. Goals provide direction and motivation, serving as benchmarks for progress in your journey toward emotional well-being. And when setting goals, it is essential to ensure they are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And those are just SMART goals. And you can always get some further information on that. Go to my website From Me to You Show. Just type in, you'll see some mini courses there, just personalized just for you. And there's quizzes with each course. The answers are already provided, as well as a flip chart type approach once you get inside the actual course. But I'm just throwing that in to direct you there to some further information. But begin by identifying areas where you would like to see improvement. Perhaps you aim to reduce the frequencies of anxiety attacks, enhance your ability to manage stress at work, or cultivate a more positive outlook on life. Once you identify these areas, break them down into smaller, manageable goals. For instance, if your overarching goal is to reduce anxiety attacks, a smaller goal might be to practice deep breathing exercises 3 times a week. Just something that you can actually see, do, and get some results. It is crucial to approach goal setting with a sense of realism and self-compassion. Anxiety management is a journey, not a destination, and setbacks are a natural part of the process. Celebrate small victories and use challenges as opportunities for learning and growth. And by setting realistic goals, you create a structured plan that fosters ongoing development and resilience. Appreciate you always listening in to the From Me to You Show. Appreciate you each and every day. It's another beautiful day, and as always, life is good. You just have to have something to compare it to. Take care.